Welcome to the Energeon.com podcast, brought to you by Energeon Publications in Pensacola, Florida. Today's speaker is Henry Neufeld, author of What's in a Version, speaking on Bible translations. Hello, I'm Henry Neufeld of Energeon Publications with another video review of a Bible translation. Today I'm going to look at the Contemporary English Version, or the CEV, which I like to call the children's Bible that I read myself. Now, the term children's Bible is not entirely accurate because the CEV is actually aimed at an audience that would also include speakers of English as a second language, but due to the simplified language of the version, it often functions very effectively as a children's Bible. As a matter of fact, when I purchased with my wife a Bible for our 6-year-old granddaughter for her birthday, we chose the Contemporary English Version. In fact, this particular children's Bible, which you can easily find on various online resources such as Amazon, Christian book distributors, and so on, it's a very economical children's Bible and contains the full text of the scriptures along with some very nice illustrations. I also strongly commend the CEV as a Bible for outreach. I've used a number of different editions of the Contemporary English Version, including a pocket edition and a very low-cost edition that can be ordered by the case, again from the American Bible Society. The Contemporary English Version is a functional equivalence or dynamic equivalence translation for the most part. That is, you're going to find that the English rewords in order to state the thoughts of the original text clearly and accurately, but does not follow the word order or a specific kind of word-for-word translation, which is what we would call formal equivalent, or is more popularly called a literal translation. The Contemporary English Version is also designed to sound good when read aloud. Now, many people in my experience don't appreciate the sound of the Contemporary English Version. And in general, I can say that these are people who have grown up in the church listening to scripture readings, which for the most part have come from a Bible in the King James Version tradition. And that would include the Revised Standard Version, New Revised Standard Version, English Standard Version, and to a lesser extent the New American Standard Bible. There's a certain Bible sound to these Bible versions. The CEV, on the other hand, sounds very contemporary, very simple, and actually sounds very ordinary. Now, one of the advantages of the CEV is that it is managed and handled by the American Bible Society, and they have seen to it that it's available in a number of editions. I already mentioned the children's edition, which is what I gave to our granddaughter and have also recommended for many other children's Bibles. My wife has this handsome edition that has that very Bible look with the leather type cover and the thinner Bible type paper. Very handsome edition, one that originally was a little bit more expensive, but now you can get these for under $1 used on a lot of the services, is the Promise, which includes an outline of Bible promises. This is in fact the first CEV edition that I used. For study, there's the Learning Bible based on the Contemporary English Version. Now there's also a Learning Bible based on the NIV, but the Learning Bible based on the CEV, the notes and the text of the scriptures are both written in a very comprehensible format. You have different types of notes identified by different types of icons, various study excurses in here, little sections that describe particular issues in the Bible, and these notes are written from a mainline Protestant perspective. Now, if you find that the CEV does not suit your needs, there are a couple of alternatives for you. One of these would be for a children's Bible to go a little bit simpler to the New Century Version. The New Century Version is truly a children's Bible. You'll find it reads a little bit choppier. It's a little bit more literal or formal equivalent, even though it does have to use a lot of the functional equivalent kind of approaches in order to keep the text simple. Its vocabulary is actually less extensive than that of the CEV. On the other hand, if you want to be just a little bit more literal and yet maintain that ease of reading and also the smoothness, today's New International Version, TNIV, might be a good choice as an alternative. If you want the readability, but you're not that interested in the limited vocabulary and the simplified kind of a text, try the New Living Translation. This is also very readable, but is not as simplified in terms of vocabulary or in terms even of the English syntax. So I find the CEV to be an excellent Bible to have in my study library because I use it to read extensive sections of text at a time. One of my projects, for example, was reading the entire Bible through in a week, and I used the CEV for that project because it's easy to read very quickly. For deeper study, you do have to have some other materials to compare, but the CEV does have some very good additions for you to use. You have been listening to the Energeon.com podcast, brought to you by Energeon Publications in Pensacola, Florida. Today's speaker is Henry Neufeld, author of What's in a Version and When People Speak for God. To find out more about Henry Neufeld and his books, or to learn how to subscribe to this podcast via RSS, please visit our website, podcast.energeon.com. Again, that's podcast.energion.com. Thanks for listening, and may God richly bless you.